Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to JJ's PC Builds. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Would appreciate it. It'd help us get monetized. We need 1,000 subscribers. And also to watch every video from beginning to end, we need 4,000 watch hours to get monetized. And I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. Okay, now I'm just going to jump right into this. You know, this thing about the RTX 4060 Ti, the 8 or the 16 gigabytes. Okay, now the reason why I'm making this video is to explain something to you all. Okay, now the 4060 and the 4060 Ti is going to be PCIe 4.0, but there's a problem. They're only X8s. That means they're only 8 lanes. They don't have the full 16 lanes as the RTX 4070 does. That was one reason why I wasn't waiting for the 4060 Ti or the 4060, because they're going to have less lanes. Okay, that means it doesn't matter if you're going to have 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but you're going to have half the lanes, so that means you're going to have half the performance. Okay, I've ran many cards that had half the lanes, and truthfully, there's too much of a difference. Now, if it comes out and I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, I can admit if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right on this is because, looking at it, having half the lanes is going to make a big impact, I think, on those cards. I mean, all 3 of those cards. There's going to be a big impact because you're only going to get probably half the performance, as you would the 4070. So, what we're going to do? I mean, they're not out yet. They haven't been tested yet, but I just want to get my 2 cents in on this, since everybody else is talking about it, saying, oh, they might be better, they might be better in price and everything else. Yeah, but you're missing some parts. You're missing the total amount of performance that the card's going to actually do. Okay, now I'm sure there's going to be many tests out there, and everybody's going to be like, well, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. And you know what? I could be wrong, I could be right. But the thing is I had a video card that had half the lanes. And everybody praised it and says the performance was there. What card was it? Shoot, I can't remember that card. But the thing is, for an example, like the RX 6500 XT, it has, PCIe 4.0, but it's only X4. So I tried that out and everything else. That card was just worthless. So I took it back and got a refund on it because it was just absolutely worthless. Now, do you really think that the RTX 3060 Ti is really going to be worth the price? At its price point, I don't think it is, because they're sitting there saying, I'm just going to, all right, we're going to do this. We're just going to take and go to the action screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to type in the RTX 4070 specs. Okay, we're going to start there. We're going to start right here and then work our way down. Okay, now, if you want to look at the specs, okay, so we go, and here's the 3060 Ti. It is 60 65%, okay? 65% lower than the 4070, okay? Now, we'll type in the RTX 4060 Ti specs. Okay, so we're gonna look at the specs matching with Tech Power Up, and they got good source. So we got the 4060 Ti 8 gigabyte, and the 8 and 16 are about, and performance is going to be the same. Look, bus interface right here, right here. Let me move that up for you. Right here, PCIe 4.0 x8. Okay, now its bandwidth is 288 gigabits. It's a 128-bit bus. Go over to the 4070. Okay, its bandwidth is 504.2 gigabits. Its memory bus is 192-bit. Okay, and it's PCIe 4.0 x16. So it's got the full bandwidth, the full lanes. So that card, the RTX 4060 Ti, is like your beginner's card, I would say. It's more or less like a beginner's card. But for the price, it's not worth it. Okay, so here's the 4060 Ti in relative performance. Okay, let's go up to the 4070. Right here. Right here. 4070. Oop, my bad. Right here. 4070 is 32 times faster than the 4060 Ti. 32 times faster. So price to performance, it's pushing almost close to 40%. So if a card is pushing between 30 and 50% higher, then guess what? You're getting 1.5 more times on, far as speed on that card. So if you took and cut the you turn around and you cut the 4060 Ti $400 in half, that's $200, right? Understand this. So you're getting almost half more of the performance, on, you get the 3060, you get half more of the performance. My bad, my thoughts kind of wandering. So you take your $400 card, right? $400 card, and divide that by 2. And you take that $200 and you add it to that $400, guess what? You have the same price as the 4070 as far as performance. So you take 1.5 of the performance from the 3060 Ti equals to the 4070. It's still the same price, and that's the reason why I said, why waste your time and getting the 3060 Ti when you could get the 4070? Price to performance, it's going to be the same exact price. I know everybody thinks I'm crazy, and make sure you got your drink in hand because this is a good one. I want to get this out there before everybody decides they want to go buy it. So you're gonna be paying. You're basically, in a sense, you're going to be paying for the same as you pay for the 4070. It might be cheaper to you, yeah, but you're going to be losing a lot of performance, and it's just not going to be worth it. It'd be better if you just get the 4070 because you get a lot more. You get You get more lanes, you get more performance as far as what you need. You know, I mean, the 4070 itself, it's boost clock. I'm going to give you a hint. I boost clocked that thing, that RTX 4070, and it goes to 2955 on mine. Because mine, and do remember, I'm using the B450 motherboard too, and that's 3.0 X16. So I definitely got performance that's left on the table. But I realize that because I know I'm going to be updating sooner or later to a better motherboard. You know, a higher motherboard, like, you know, a B550. I'm going to be going up to PCIe 4.0 with this graphics card and match it performance to, you know, soup to nuts. So, but for right now, I see the performance that it's giving at 3.0 X16. And believe it or not, let me go and pull this up so you all can believe me when I'm telling you this. Let me pull this up for you. A little dark side. There we go. A little dark side for you. Okay, now, here's GPU Z. Okay, this shows everything that's about the graphics card. Look, it tells you right here, PCIe X16 4.0 at X16 3.0. Okay, so I hope you all understand that. PCIe X16 4.0. That means that the card is PCIe X16 4.0. It's, you know what I mean. And then this little at button, this means it's at X16 3.0. That means it's down from 4.0 to 3.0. But it's still running at X16, so I'm still getting all the lanes. So, you know, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, the way I look at it, look, the bandwidth right here, the bandwidth is 513.8 gigabits. Compared to, if you go to the 4060, and you look at the bandwidth, and it's only at 288. Right here, 288. So, you know, in order to get the kind of performance you want, you think you're going to get it from here? I really don't think so. You know, that's why I'm saying the X16 you might think it costs half the price, but you're getting half the performance. They cut everything in half. So you think that you're getting 16 gigs of VRAM? You might. But you got to remember, it's on a 128-bit bus. So they're stack compiling it, you know, back to back to get you that 16 gigs of VRAM. Now, on top of the RTX 4070, they're not stacking it. The reason why is because it's 192-bit. That means they get the room for that extra 4 right there. Because 8 gigs of VRAM is 128. 8 times 3 is 24. So the thing is the RTX 4070 is GDR6X compared to the 4060 Ti, which is GDR6. So the 4070 seems to be a little bit more than the 4060. Okay, now let's go and we're comparing apples to oranges right now. Okay, so looking at it, and it's a 5 nanometer technology on the 4070. And you know how I know this? I got the 4070 in my PC, and I'm looking at it right now. So I mean, it looks good as gold. I mean, the texture rate is really good. Let's see, the pixel rate's really good. Um, you know, the bandwidth is good. You know, and everything measures up. I mean, everything measures up nice and tidy. So I can't complain about it. You know, I cannot complain about it whatsoever. I mean, only thing that I see that might be an issue with these new cards might be the the VRAM memory that's on the GPUs. That's the only thing is that runs a little bit hotter than than the GPU itself and the hotspot. Now the hotspot and the memory temperature are running about almost equal, so it's not really a big of a deal. And I kind of know why they're running like that, but you're getting full performance. Look, I haven't had to overclock this whatsoever. It's all stock. Right now it's running stock. And once I put the, once I put games on it, and I start putting the pressure of the games and stuff on it, guess what? It just clocks itself up perfectly. I don't have to do anything. This is what consumers want. They want to be able to have a graphics card they don't have to screw with. So they can be able to plug it in and play it. That's all they want to do is plug and play. And that's all I've done was plug this thing in, and I've been playing it since. So, but also too, I think a really good thing is the system memory, the computer memory itself, the discrete memory that's in the computer. I put it up to 64 gigs of system RAM because I knew that I needed something that's going to handle a lot of load. And so far I've only used 8 of the 64 gigs. 8 gigs of the 64 gigs. I haven't even scratched the surface on that. So, if y'all want my opinion, here's my opinion. You want to get a graphics card that's going to be rocking you at least up into what you need it to do. Now, the thing is if you get a 3090, let's say you get a 3090, it's from the 4060 to 3090, it's 49% higher. Okay, a regular 3090 is 40% higher. So that's like a $900 card. You can spend between $700 and $900 for a 3090. Okay, and that's only rocking up to, not that much higher. 49% from a 3060 Ti. Now, if you go to the 4070 and you look up the 3090, and believe it or not, it says that the 4070. Now, the difference between the 4070 and the 3090 is right here. Oh, that's the Ti. Oh, whoa, lordy. Okay, right here. 13%. 13% higher than a 4070. So you spend $600 on a 4070, right? And you go to spend $800 to $900 on a 3090. Okay, that's got 24 gigs. This has got 12. Okay, but as far as performance, you got more perks with the 4070 than you do the 3090. So if you go to enable a bunch of things on the 4070, it'll probably get right up there and keep up with the 3090. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. When you're running 1440p off the RTX 4070 and you start, tweaking it and everything else and you get it just running right, it'll probably run a lot faster or equal or a lot faster than the 3090. It'll probably try to keep up there with the RTX 3090 Ti with a little bit more perks. So you have to keep that in mind too. I'm not going to make this a long video. This is only going to be like a 25-minute video. Close to it. But I just wanted to get that off my chest because I know y'all are going to, everybody's going to get ready. Oh my God, let's go buy this card. Oh my God, we need this card. Oh my God, oh my God, we need it. No, you really don't need it. Okay, you need to look at the principle of the cost. Okay, now I'm trying to tell y'all something, and I hope you're hearing me on this. You don't want to get a card you're going to be disappointed with. Okay, I'm point blank with you. Like I said before, and many times, the 4070 non-TI is right in the middle between your high end and your low end. Right dead smack in the middle. It's your mid end. Now, everybody's saying, oh, you only get 12 gigabytes of VRAM with the 4070. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. But do understand, you still got system memory to allocate into this. And let's make sure we get this down to where you all understand about the system allocation when it comes to the RAM. Okay, so you gotta look at what your GPU is actually going to be dedicating from point A to point B. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this really quick to y'all. We're going back to the action screen now. I want you to look very carefully at this. I want you to look very carefully at this. Okay, so right here at top it says dedicated GPU memory 0.5/12 gigabytes. Shared GPU memory 0.01/31.9 gigabytes. That means it's taking half of the system memory. Because I got 64 gigs, it's taking almost half of that and dedicating it to the GPU memory. Okay, I'm running 4 sticks. 4 sticks of RAM at 64 gigs. So, now if you look at this, where it says 0.05, right now, once it starts getting up over a certain level, it starts sharing RAM with the GPU. So they start sharing RAM together. No matter which way you look at it, they're going to share RAM regardless. Okay? The GPU is always going to be sharing at least 0.1% for every 0.5%. So for every 12 gigs, it's going to be sharing that much. So let me remember the math on this. Let's say we took the 12 and divided by 0.5 and get an equal. That's 24, right? So that means it's going to share at least, it's at least going to, if you max this out at 12, it's going to share at least 240 megs to the 12 gigabytes. minimal. But if it needs more, it'll pull more. And that's what people don't understand. It'll pull an extra 8 gigs away from your system memory to your graphics card. It'll share it. And that's where the bottlenecking comes in, you know. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, as you can see, it is what it is. Now, if I go and I'm going to do this real quick, I'm just going to hit fur mark, right? I'm going to do fur mark, and I'm just going to do a GPU stress. Okay. So now I'm pulling on the graphics card at 100%. At 100%. You can see it right here. Look at the memory. It hasn't moved. Look at that. See that? The 5 and the 1 gives it 6. So it's still going to share memory for allocation between the processor and the GPU. It's still going to share something. It's still going to have something there. So now, since I'm pushing that the way I'm pushing it, let's push it a little bit harder. Let's push it just a little bit harder. We'll go with that and we'll just run the demo. Okay, so now we're going to push it a little bit harder. And we're going to keep pushing it harder and harder until we get it to the break point. That's the whole purpose of testing, is getting it right to the break point. So, and if you want to know what I'm running, okay, let's do this so you all can see what I'm running. Now that's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty cool. Now we're pushing it really hard. Now we're pushing it super hard. You see what's happening, right? All in all, it seems to be handling just fine. And you might say, hot diggity damn. Yeah. If you're wondering why it's doing that, look. See, I'm making it go back and forth. When you unclick it from the screen, it runs low power. It runs down to idle. it's only running at 4 FPS. This right here is only running at 4 FPS. This one here is running at 197, 200 FPS. Now I click over here. Now this side's running at 186, 200 FPS. So we can click off of that. So you get the point. You all get the point. So as you can see, the 4070 seems to be handling just fine. And that means I wasn't even really stressing it out that much. So if I want to keep going and stressing it out, I just open up more windows to see how far it's going to push it before it collapses. Because there's got to be a limit that card will stop handling at. You know, there's got to be a limit somewhere. So just to let you know that you can push your card that way. If you want to see what the limit is and how much it can handle, how many screens you can open up at the same time. Because if you can open up a certain amount of screens and it still pushes forward, it still chooches, then you know what? Then you know you got a good graphics card. So, like I said, it's not hard to test it, but the story about the 4060 Ti, 8 gigs or 16 gigs, as you can see, it doesn't really matter at that point, because these new games they put out, they can change the limit of the amount of VRAM that game uses. They can lower it so you can have a better gaming experience. But the game makers are not doing that. They're over pushing it so that way they fall in line with the GPU makers so they make more money. Y'all don't get it. So they want to make manufacturers want to make more money. They get these game developers, they get them to push the RAM up to a higher level and get you to buy bigger and better. Get you to spend more money. Y'all will figure it out. I'm just telling you what I know that they're doing. So, and they can say, oh, we're not doing this, but yes, they are, believe it or not. But like I said, I'm not going to knock them. They want to make their buck. They can make their buck. You know, everybody's going to want to make a buck somewhere. So, just like me, I want to get you all to make sure you subscribe, because this is the ending of the video. Do subscribe. We're trying to work towards 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So, and this is the ending of the take of the 4060 Ti with me. Okay? Unless I get it in my hand, I don't have much more to say about it, because I don't think it's worth what everybody's saying it is. The rest of them, the 4060, the 4060 Ti, and even the 4050 down below, you know, it's in a spiral effect. It's like you get the 4050, it'll probably be just like getting a 960 Ti. Who knows? Or getting like a RX 580 from AMD with 8 gigabytes. You never know. So, but anyway, till the next time in the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.